Hi, I'm Adrian Lamb. Welcome to my professional research and development assessment for BCM 303, Collaborative Production Workshop. For this, I'm interviewing Chris Anderson, a national and international award-winning Wollongong artist and designer, about his work, inspirations, and innovations. Hi, Chris, how are you?
Good, thanks, Adrian. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So I'm interested in your 2013 art installation, The Thousand Surfboard Graveyard, which has definitely inspired photographs, paintings, and even ad campaigns. Um, how were your ideas for this event generated, developed, and produced?
During that project, which was called the Thousand Surfboard Graveyard, that project started from my 2011 honours project that looked into green branding and the sustainability of surfboards. So essentially, because surfboards are made from petrochemical materials for the most part, there's not many ways to recycle them. So the sort of graveyard was, I guess, a testament or a tribute, a representation of like boards going to waste in a sort of poetic way that sort of raised awareness, like environmental awareness about it, and sort of suggestive of new materials. And so from that, I did a lot of research on what you might be able to recycle or upcycle a broken surfboard into. So that was sort of that was what that project. Well, that's where it came from. And yeah, the photos are yeah
Right.
pretty stunning given the national park setting that they're in, and yeah.
Yeah, I look up photo and they were pretty amazing with like 1,000. They looks really good.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
all lit up at night. So it was, yeah, quite a big undertaking. It took 3 years to complete that one. It extended
really.
beyond my honours project. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So how does this event related to the creation and the convention and form of your like Acto body surfing hand plane business?
Actually, I should show you this fiberglass model is essentially, this is a broken surfboard recycled into a body surfing handboard. The
Yep.
strap system I designed from scratch so that it's completely adjustable from both sides, so that you can actually custom fit your hand to
Yeah.
adjust it at both sides. So essentially, it was taking broken boards and upcycling them into
Yep.
something which is essentially a miniature surfboard, but for your hand, so that it helps you get more speed and lift as you're body surfing across the wave.
You're an inventor regarding the material you're using in Acto hand plane. You said you used to use recycled surfboard, and I did a bit of a research, and now you're using sustainable timber.
Yeah, so even though it's recycled in terms of the foam, you're still recoating a recycled bit of foam with more petrochemicals, because you need to lay it with fiberglass and
Hmm.
then polyurethane or epoxy resins. It's a great product and it is a good way to repurpose foam. But I guess when you think about the product life cycle from beginning to end, it makes more sense to sort of really start with a sustainable material. Mind you, that this still requires a marine grade varnish so that the timber
Hmm.
is water resistant and mold resistant. Obviously, it's going in the sun, the surf, the ocean, the salt. So it really needs a protective coating so that the
Yeah.
product lasts, which again is a sustainable factor. So it was something that once I started making, I entered the innovation for the product with one type of material, and then naturally thought, well, if we can make them out of fiberglass, I wonder what else they can be made out of. And timber was a natural choice, and you can really craft them to a very high degree of accuracy and getting some really nice edges and contours on the board. So
Yeah, they look really smooth
yeah,
too. Yeah. Is the fly fish from the customer demand or is it another influence?
it actually came from writing the AR2. This fly fish has got like a performance enhancing ability to just sit in the wave really nicely, and everything just flows off the fish tail. And these flyers, hence why it's a fish tail and it's got flyers. That's
Yeah.
the comes
I have
from.
to admit, it's a
Um,
really cool
it just
design.
feels really good.
And based on the research, you were producing active hand planes out of your parents' garage. What was it like? Like, who helped you?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. At the beginning, it was just me creating the product from scratch and designing and working out how the materials came together for your glassing and things like that.
Hmm.
But as I designed the board, worked out the materials, got a 3D file made, got the boards manufactured, just like the shape created. Then it came to sanding it, and that's where eventually both the fiberglass and the timber boards. I had my dad helping me manufacture them, so we'd do them together. Sometimes I'd give him a batch to do. So yeah,
Hmm.
that really helped. He thought he'd retired, but then he ended up helping me out with the business, which has been awesome.
If you were interviewing like a creative industry professional about their work, inspiration, and people's interaction, how would you go about it?
Like that question you asked earlier about what did it feel like to be in the garage? That's like a really personal question. It shows like a lot of insight that you've really thought about what it means to create something from scratch. And I think
Mm.
that that's a really good approach. So trying to put yourself in that person's shoes. So what would a creative day involve? What's the process? Because it shows a lot about realistic nature of what it means to be a creative and how they
Mm.
go about it. It's all the little things that go on behind the scenes, like us, putting tape on to get the hard edge and then peeling it off at the right time. Like there's all these things that are happening. So I guess just asking about the process that and how they feel about it. It depends what sort of creative you're interviewing as well. I mean, if it's a straight artist, the concepts are probably more intriguing than potentially the process, or the business side of this might be more interesting to some people than others. And I think I'd be interested in those sorts of questions too.
Thank you for taking part in this interview, Chris. And wish you continuing success for your business.
Thanks, Adrian.